Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the real Hirari from CZT Midori Furuhashi. And I say the real because if you're following these, if you're following me and watching as I'm posting every day, the last video that I posted, I also called Hirari because I thought that was it. My fault that I did not read carefully. I thought I read enough and understood. I didn't scroll down enough to see, so what I did yesterday, and I changed the graphic and the title, but I didn't want to change the whole video. So it's working towards. So that was her playing with this concept of turning over and or the turnover. And so anyway, they still turned out cool. It's in the spirit of there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. The videos were still cool. Doing that is neat in and of itself, so I'm keeping them up there. And it's also good practice for another tangle called Fangle, which I will be doing that one. Well, that one will also be coming up. Today we get a bonus tangle, which is this one. For those that are following the Inktober tangles, that's, I'm doing a daily tangle anyway. But right now, because it's October, following the list, which gosh, if you know what, I need to make sure I put a link in for that. I will make sure to do that. So if you're interested in following along, if you haven't been yet and want to get, kind of caught up and join in the fun, I will make sure to do that. I know I have it on my Facebook page, but I'll try to put a link in the description section for these as well. All right, so enough talking. This one, we're going to start with a curved line. And here's one of the things that I keep having to remind myself is to, because we're gonna put a big curve line over it, I need to not start up too high. I want to start, let's see, let's do about here. And it's a curve line, kind of an S shape, right? My bottom's got a little bit flat there, but that's okay. All right, and then this is where I usually run into some challenge, but it's okay. I work through it with you. You watch. All right, because I want these two to be even. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and this, it's kind of organic, so it's okay. This line is a little bit more straight, this one isn't. I played with doing it upside down. There were other challenges with that, so it's one of those, it is what it is, and that's okay. Again, no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. All right, next step, once you have this done, is we're going to come from here. And actually, these could maybe not be as, because like I have these kind of going flat. They don't necessarily have to be going that flat. Do take a look at the link for where it says for more inspiration. That's Midori's blog. But make sure to scroll all the way down. And then you'll see her work, and then you can get an idea from the artist herself, the originator of this tangle. So we're going to do curve lines, and this is similar to one of the steps that was in the previous video. And you can have those, come in as far as you want. Then we're going to, let's see, let me turn it this way. Always turn your tile so that way your hand is comfortable, and that, so you can feel like you can draw comfortably as well. All right, that's a nice one. Okay. Next step after this is, in this one I combined putting the big curve line on top, as well as adding the lines inside these sections. And so we're gonna essentially aura the bottom side. So I'm curving these, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna add this little extra. So I'm curving down, almost making like a little mini S shape is what I decided looked kind of neat. You don't have to do that. You can just, have it be just curved even, because that's how I started doing it, just curved. But then I think I was doing this side as I was playing with it, and I'm like, oh, we could do that because it's kind of orating. One thing that I'm trying to do is also get these to be similar distances. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We try not to worry about it because it's all okay in the end. All right. So there we have those. Next is we're going to do the background. And I found doing kind of a straight line down the center helped. And then from there, working either side. And I'm curving it a little bit at the top. Oh, this I'm going to go right on that edge. There we go. And then using the hollow bow technique of stopping, not going over, traveling the pen, putting it down on the other side. That is, if you're not familiar with the hollow bow, that is how we do that. And then here, these will just be straight like that. And then I'm going to flip this because it's nice also to see the line that you're aura-ing to try to keep it straight. Oh, a little tight fit there. And then here we'll do the hollow bow. And I hollow bow until, you know, there's really just not any room. Okay, there we have it. And now we'll add some shading. Okay, so for this one, I'm going around, I should do it this way, going around the outside here. It's always a good idea, which I'm not even following my own, well, and actually, this isn't my idea. This actually, I know Rick has said this, co-founder of Zentangle, if you didn't know. Put the point of your pencil where you want the graphite to be the darkest. And then we kind of follow the same idea with the tortillon, you know, pointing that tortillon on the graphite. Instead of working it, you know, like this way, you know, and going out, just, you know, putting it on the point. So that does require to flip the tile. I sometimes start doing it that way, then I have to remind myself, and it's like, oh, no, because it always works better, because I want to keep the graphite out of these sections. That's what makes them, and if, you know, pop. And as you can see, it almost looks like you know, this is a different color. And it's just kind of neat. I'm also going to add some graphite at the top just because I feel like it needs it. And I do a lot of times like to start not necessarily heavy on the graphite, because you can always go back and add more. And I would rather err on that side and just have to add more than, you know, have it be too dark and have graphite remorse. But this way we're curving that line. Oh, yeah. And, you know, could even, you know, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go a little bit darker down here. Normally we don't worry about like light source and all of that. It's just about having it pop, and also, but understanding that the graphite, so when it's dark, it takes it down. That's just how I phrase it, and the light, you know, brings it up. So because this is dark, then that makes this even lighter, and just accentuates it. You know what? I need to have this side just be a little bit. Is that right? Yeah, it needs to be a little bit darker to match. But actually, that's so that way you don't have to, no stress involved in shading. If you start with just doing what you want, where you want to accentuate this, I call it the over-under. You know, so these are over this, so I'm going to put the graphite around the edge so that way it accentuates that. And then here, because I want that kind of to have that curve, that's why I've added that up here. And that's neat. Now, again, if you scroll down on Midori's blog and you see her beautiful work, she also had a variation, and I did put the variation in mine. We'll see if I can do an even better job on this one. Okay, starting off the same way. And, you know, also, so I'm just not going to think about it. Yeah, look at what not thinking does. It does a great job. All right, then the thing, oh no, we're going to do these sides first. Okay, so I'm kind of picturing how I want to have that this turnover part. But we're going to make a scalloped edge, and a scalloped edge is just going to be a bunch of little curve lines, one right next to each other like this. So just in a, kind of like feeling like you're making a cloud. This one is a little, you have to really make sure to, for me, I found it was a little bit harder to, okay, here's the curve, here's how I want it. And you're doing all of this bouncing with your pen. Okay, and then the top, same idea. Also, as I'm just telling myself, slow down. You don't have to make it a continuous stroke. You could stop in between as well, which is, I'm thinking, that's a good idea. All right. Then, kind of in the same idea as we've, let's see, because I'm looking, oh, interesting, so, oh no, I did scoop that, okay. I'm just thinking of the direction on this, and okay, I'm just going to go with the way I did it in the step out, and because it seems to lend itself this way. And that is, I kind of made the curve lines go almost, it seems like the opposite direction. That's why I was hesitating, and I was taking a peek. Because it was one of those, didn't really even think about it. But so we're taking each of these points and just continuing those points to the side. And then, you can add some curve and things to it, so it can kind of sculpt it a little bit more. All right, so then here I'm still gonna start in the middle. Same idea, taking those points, and I'm gonna draw somewhat straight lines, and using the hollow bow technique. Now here with the hollow bow, you just have to watch that. So it's like, well, I might have a little bit in there, so I'll just darken that a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more difficult with all of these little points to consider as you're, drawing that straight line through. Still going to turn it upside down because it's easier to see. Got that one right on the edge. And then it's just, you kind of leave it to however you have these edges. And you could add a little darkening in if you want to. Now, here's another thought that just came to me. You could do this and do what we call rounding. So that would be rounding each of those edges, and you would end up with something like this, but you kind of have a solid edge. So there's another variation. I don't know if she did that in there, but you could employ the rounding concept as well. All right, then same idea. We're going to put graphite around the outside and kind of work in the whole contour of these this scalloped or ruffly edge. And we'll do both sides. And while I'm doing that, I did mention that a link to her blog is in the description section, as well as my updated step out. And well, heck, while I have the pencil in my hand, I'm just going to put graphite in each little section up here. Also in the description section, ways to connect with me if you like my goofy style. Well, and that I'm not afraid to correct things and also leave things up if things go awry, which it's not really it didn't go, nothing went wrong. It's just I didn't I didn't read far enough. I was wondering why I'm seeing these great pictures of these things, you know, I'm like, well, that's not what it looked like. Oh, now I know. So funny. I was so excited to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, there we go. I'm gonna have some practice on doing that Fangle, you know, with how she played with it, and just, oh my goodness. All right, so there we go, and that, you know, see, that just gives it, you know, something neat, depending on what you're using it with, you know. And two, I think I've seen in some of the patterns, you know, this, I mean, this is just a snippet. So these are just on these bijou tiles. If you're using this in a larger work, so like I've seen some kind of in a Zentangle, so, you know, where you'd want to maybe put that, you do 4 of them or more, you know, kind of all pointing out from a center in a round tile, or just a round structure, and they just look it looks really neat. So I don't know that, you know, this could come to a point or something. Lots of different ideas, lots of different ways you could use this. Again, in Midori's Step Out, other ways you could decorate it. You can do something different. You could add some stripes. You could fill in any of these lines. You could add orbs. A ton of things. That's why I also like to share the blog, the information from the originator of the Tangle, so you can see their work and get some extra inspiration. So if you enjoyed this, would love to have a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you as a subscriber. I do post something every day. I have my own challenge of doing a different Tangle every single day, doing a quickie video with it, you know, and posting it. That's my challenge to myself, and I've been having fun with that. So again, if you like to subscribe to the channel, would love to have you. Also, if you'd like to connect, I think I mentioned already, I do classes online, both some that have a charge and some that are free. They're mostly free. So would love to have you join us, but check it out on the website. If you have questions, you know, you can connect with me through there or through the comment section here. And with that, thanks so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I wish you happy tangling.